Good morning, traders. It's Monday, June 8th at 4:19 a.m. All right, I just wanted to cover a couple things before we kick it off today with our two stocks. Massive pullback on Friday, as you noticed. I couldn't believe, I've never seen it before where the Qs were down 35 points in one day. And so anyway, let's go ahead and look at this. From on the SPY, these are the late prints. These are the ones that are reported 24 hours late. From 750 to 757 here, $28.5 billion. From 750 to 757, you can see these values. And so on Friday, 7.6 million share trade right here at 757.02. So when we were trading way down below, these trades were coming in, 61 of them, all at 757.02 that were being reported late. $5.8 billion, 8% of the entire volume was this one trade. And then on Thursday, 5 million was 10% of all of the volume in the day for 4 billion. So you see that. And I point out the Qs. Friday was 9.6 million shares at 740.33, and look at the close, 705. So it was 35 points from the previous close pretty much, and that was 9% of the total volume for the day, 7.2 billion. So looks like they were selling. So let's see. The stocks that I have for you today is I've got Google and we've got the SPY. So if the market is going to continue to melt, maybe trade an index or something. So let's go ahead and look at Google. So these are the largest trades in the last month, and you can see here millions and millions of shares. We had this print back here May 11th. We upthrusted, pulled back, and then testing the print, closing below the print, testing the print here at the bottom, tested a print, and then now we're moving down. So we've got the 50 simple moving average here. So if we close, maybe test this and bounce, we'll see what happens today or the next day. We're filling this gap that's about here. It looks like maybe that was filled. But anyway, we close below these levels, then I can see us coming back to this 100 moving average there. We have to get above this range here. We've got to get above the dark pool trades in order for a longer term position. So let's go ahead and map this out. On the left hand side is our 5 minute, and I've got my person's pivots and Camarilla pivot boss here. We're going to be bullish above 365. Let's get back up here. Make sure these two things here are support, this cam and this pivot. 365, 366.34 is a cam. Then we've got 366.07, 367.80, 368.24 is the pivot. And right here, that's a 200 exponential, 200 simple moving average. So here's the catch. If we come up here and test these, roll over with increasing volume, then that's an entry point on the downside as well. 369.26, 369.99 up here. If we hold, if this becomes support, 370.72, 371.25, which will get us to this 8 exponential moving average on the daily chart. And so we'll see if we get up there and start pushing back, start closing, then it might be a way to add to a position to the downside. Okay, we're going to be bearish below. Well, I put 363.50, so I had mapped this out up here. So let's go 362.75 or 362.50. I'm going to change this to 362.50 because we're already right here. This would be the entry point. 362, 360.47 is a double pivot in cam. There's the 362.47 and 360.28. Then we've got 358.99 is this 800K print right here. You can see that on the daily as well. Then we've got 356 and then 352.32, which is S3. So you've got a nice pocket to here, then to the print, and then all the way down. And make sure you take some profit at some predefined levels that you have there. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the SPY. Okay, so here's the SPY. Look at all of these prints. If I switch it to late prints, You can see all of these here. And here was the top right here. So you can see here that this trade came in, but you can see this trade here come in. This was like 759.33, 6.4 million. And notice how the line does not match the candle. That volume belongs in the previous day. These were reported late. And then we had increasing volume closing below both prints. That was a decent shorting opportunity as well. We pulled back up the next day through these prints, and then we just tanked. And so what we're looking for here, we might retrace up to test some of these prints, maybe the 4 and the 8. And then if it might be another shorting opportunity, we'll see on that. Maybe we'll tag this and pull back a little bit, or if we break below as well, then we've got our day trade and potentially another swing trade to the downside. So let's go ahead and map this out on both sides. We're going to be bullish above 741. Let's get above this cam right here. 741.97 is the pivot. 742.30 is this 4.2 million. And it's also a cam. Then 742.81 is almost 6.9 million shares. Then we've got the 200 exponential moving average sitting right there, which is 743.50. 745.62 is 4.3 million, and the 200 simple moving average. Then we've got 747.06 is a cam. 748.41 is R1. There's also a 5.5 million share trade, and this is getting us back up to the 8 exponential moving average. So if we have that, we'll see how that goes today. It's don't want to have any bias on the trade. We're going to be bearish below 738, get below this print, target 735.96 right here. 734, 732.79 is a cam. 731.11, 730, 728.04 down here is a cam. 725, 724.67 is S2, 720.21. Then we've got 715, 711.27 is an 8.5 million share print, and 707.37 is S3. Okay, there you have it. Those are your 2 trade setups for today. So please like, share, and subscribe. We also have our dark pool weekly report at mobyticktrading.com/weekly-report. First name, email address, and we provide 13 trade setups for the week for swing trading. And we include the SpyQ IWM plus 10 other stocks, and you get some educational information in there surrounding the dark pools. And yeah, your 13 swing trade setups with targets and everything. So we've been doing quite well with that. And if you sign up, you'll get the previous week's or the existing week's newsletter if you do that in between. All right, happy trading, everyone. And we'll see you tomorrow with all new trade setups. Take care. MobyTick has partnered with TrendSpider to bring real-time institutional trades to your charts. Click the link in the description below for more details.